Hi there, I'm Jeremy Van Loo, radio TV instructor here at Wawasee High School on this Tuesday, the last day of March. And with me today is Dr. Tom Edington, Superintendent of Wawasee Community School Corporation. How you doing today?
Good, Jeremy.
You hesitated.
Yes, it's tough to answer that question, and we all know why, because even though things are working well for teaching and learning remotely and other things going on with our school students, the situation that we're involved in is just tough.
It is, and you had reached out and said, hey, I kind of would like to, get a message out to community, to students, to staff, to parents about what the new normal is in our lives right now, at least as per Wawasee Community School Corporation. So I've got a few questions here. If you're willing to answer, that'd be great.
Let's go.
All right. So I just said that. What's the new normal at Wawasee Community School Corporation?
Well, the new normal changes every day, seemingly. What we did and thought was acceptable a week ago, 2 weeks ago, a month ago, we wouldn't think of doing now, because we would not want to put ourselves in harm's way, certainly, and others in harm's way. And so those routines that we carried on and did, life was just a little freer a month ago. The new normal is that we stay at home, and a month ago we were going to school.
Yeah.
So we have changed that. Our time together, the 3 weeks leading up to our spring break was a time that we were setting aside for staying home and away from one another and away from the virus. And so that new normal has changed. The governor has closed schools through May 1st, and with that, we have made plans for the spring break and then the future.
Yeah, and there's still probably a lot of unanswered questions that
Yeah.
a lot of us have. What are you hearing from teachers, students, parents, from this last 3 weeks of extended e-learning?
Well, the first thing I hear is just appreciation. Thanks to the students for working hard in a way that they aren't used to doing things alone and not with ability to interact with others. The teachers for preparing lessons not only online for 85 or 90% of our students, but then packets for those who don't have internet at home. And thanks for the food service people who are making lunches for 900 plus students, breakfast and lunches 5 days a week, that cover 5 days a week, and the Boomerang Backpack program in our area that is provided through donations that takes care of some food for kids for weekends. We have that going on. There is even there's even a service where drivers are taking food and learning packets out to students who otherwise would not be able to, just due to transportation issues, be able to avail themselves of that homework to do and lunches and such.
So who actually is delivering these things? It's staff members, right?
Staff members, and they have volunteered, and we have more volunteers than we can use on our staff, and teachers who have wanted to deliver packets to homes because they miss the kids.
Sure. Okay. Well, not only you mentioned lunches and packets that are being delivered, but without technology, we wouldn't be able to do any of this. And we were blessed to adopt the e-learning program, 2-3 years ago,
Yes.
And we got devices in all of our students' hands. We have a tech department who, starting this week, is back in the office helping with repairing devices and going with that. So can you talk a little bit about technology and what kind of struggles we've had, but a lot of great things with Wi-Fi access and so forth and so on?
You know, we started with one-to-one school-wide 3.5 years ago now, over 3.5 years ago, and it is something that we know that our students need to know how to do that when they go out into the world, and that's part of what learning is about in today's world. The technology, the students who do not have computer access at home, we actually have put Wi-Fi on the outside of our buildings at North Webster, at that's the north parking lot, at Milford, the north parking lot, and at the high school campus near the football stadium and near the soccer stadium. And you can literally sit in your car and use the school Wi-Fi at those locations, in addition to hotspots that we wrote a grant to receive, and those are T-Mobile hotspots that are out for use by those students who don't have other computer access at home. The T-Mobile ones don't work in quite every area of our school district, and so we are trying to make learning available online for as many students as absolutely possible.
And would you agree that teachers rather quickly came up with a bunch of different ideas for online curriculum that they weren't necessarily planning on having to deal with at this point in time? Usually when we get in towards spring, we're not planning on having any snow days, if you will. What do you say about these teachers who have come up and developed some really cool ways of teaching from home?
It's amazing what has been done. As I said a month ago, we weren't thinking about being in the situation we are now, and we only this year had added a third day after last year's polar vortex that we had added, so that we would do 3 days in a row and no more using technology, because it just was something new and we were still getting used to that. And here in the last month, now we are in our third week using technology, not 3 days, 3 weeks, and looking at the 3 weeks after spring break using technology again. So if people think that schools are slow to respond and move, we have definitely shown the opposite.
Absolutely,
Yes.
Absolutely. Okay, well, any news on the plans for our graduating seniors, CTE classes like our radio TV program and others that have certifications, dual credits, etc., how the state is maybe wanting to handle this?
Well, we are right now 2 months away from graduation time, and what a tough year for senior students, because they are missing some, those memorable, those wonderful activities that they would have, and we aren't sure about graduation, the if or when, graduation ceremony itself. So it does make it tough for those young people. They are involved in athletics and things for the last time. If you're a senior, plays and concerts and performances of all kinds, competitions. It's tough. Plus, they need to have credits to graduate, and right now with our online instruction, we are working with the various colleges and the state on making sure that for the the different subjects that they're taking, that they would receive the credit that they would deserve for working their hardest in that subject area. So we will know some answers from the state as time goes along, but that is something, when the new normal is the new normal a few weeks from now, we may have those answers.
Sure, and it's probably safe to assume that nobody was planning for this. I mean, there wasn't a plan put into place specifically on that, so everybody's trying to figure the logistics out, and right? I'm assuming, right?
Well, and those other high school students who receive credit for classes that add up toward graduation, yes, they certainly have more time than a senior in their last 2 months to make sure everything's buttoned up and ready to go, but it still may tighten their plans down the road slightly, and we'll be dealing with this, the fallout from this situation educationally down the road. Not saying that doesn't happen down through the grades, the various grades, but certainly high school with credits and on a transcript that heads off to a college. And I do understand colleges this year are putting less stress on SAT tests because those are hard to take when you can't be together and take those, ACT tests and other assessments for career tech and placement type exams for colleges. So less stress on those and less on grade point averages and such, because those are not up to date and won't be up to date perhaps at a time when colleges are selecting students. So
Sure.
So they'll be looking at the individual and their positive aspects and see if they want to bring them on board more than in the past when numbers determine things.
So during this 3-week period of time, administrators in our school district, you yourself, and even the school board for that matter, hasn't just been sitting at home watching Netflix all day long. There's a lot of different, I'm sure, phone calls and meetings with the state and whoever else you're working with. Is there any sense of when some answers might come, maybe after spring break time, or is the new norm not giving us times? You know, we all want to know things, but do you know anything at this point in time?
The State Department of Education superintendent spoke today for an hour to superintendents and others. It was an open type presentation, and just let us know the things that she could let us know, but there are those items that we just aren't sure about, and in good time the governor will make decisions, and those will be passed on, and we will make modifications to be able to work within those rails that are set.
Okay, all right. So, as mentioned, spring break, we're coming up on that. What's happening during spring break and then after spring break?
Well, it's a Twitter spring break, I hear, and 11 days of spring break beginning this Friday, and should be an exciting time for those who tweet, and also have activities that would keep students occupied during break, because there certainly isn't that opportunity to head out to see the world that the world even a county away sometimes in our present situation. So we will be sending out activities during break. And then it's on to 3 weeks of school. And that school will be, again, online and at home. And social emotional learning will take every Monday. And lessons will be provided for that, and online e-learning lessons Tuesdays and Thursdays for the 3 weeks after break, and Wednesdays and Fridays would be work days to additionally work on those lessons. And that ends May 1st, Friday, and that would line up with the governor's directive to be out of school through that time. So we are still counting students present and absent, and would like to have, with people being at home, 100% present and completing homework. And the completion rate for homework online has been as good as or better than when we have school. So those of you who have wondered about that, there are students and parents who are putting some serious effort into that, and we appreciate that. So,
absolutely. So yeah, at this point in time, we'll enjoy the spring break. Maybe not on the beaches like maybe some of us were hoping to get to do in Florida or what have you. In fact, no. But we're making the best of this. There's no doubt about that. And I have watched a lot of news. I'm a news junkie. My wife hates it. But I like to be informed, and I'm looking for positive things to see. And we're seeing that a lot of organizations and companies, not only nationwide but even locally here in our own communities, are stepping up to the plate and helping our medical people who need masks and who need shields and so forth and so on. And you were informing me that we here at Wawasee have some things that we could donate.
Well, we like everyone else, have checked our closets here at school and have some. We have a certified nursing program and medical future medical personnel program, and those programs have some gloves and a box of 100 gloves times 10 boxes makes 1,000, and that looked like a meaningful number. We do have the masks that are the N95 mask, and I thought for sure those would be in the medical area or the nurses' offices. The ones we have so far came from our welding program, because those are used in welding and are very effective in helping breathing when you're welding. So we have some new masks and ready to go when the county needs those.
Communication. Obviously, being a staff member, I'm privy to probably more communication than the parents per se. But we have this new thing, Parent Square. I think, as a parent myself of a student here at Wawasee High School, I have seen plenty of communication, not only from teachers but administrators. Are we doing a good job communicating?
I think we are working well with communication, but that new normal is that whatever you do, you may have to double your efforts next week. And a teacher, this was a while ago when things weren't quite as strict as they are now on things, had actually delivered a packet to a student, and the parent was surprised because the student the parent had no idea, but the student did know that packet should have been picked up and how things should have been done. So, but every student has something to do, and in fact, using technology, our speech teachers are working online. There are counseling sessions taking place as we speak online, and nursing services or check-ins with parents and students that are happening online. So it's more than just the education that is happening online, thanks to our technology folks here.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, is there anything else you would like to say to students, staff, parents, community? The floor is yours, Dr.
Oh, wow.
Edington.
Well, schools are about people. That's our product. And when we aren't together, it makes that tougher. Our young people want to be with other young people. They want to be with those teachers that they have a connection with and value, and the connections with others here at school, other adults than their teachers, and the students have a love to learn down deep that it's probably easier to see and feel when you're with them than when they're at the other side of a screen, and it's tough to do that, but we want people to work hard and pull through, and we aren't the warriors for nothing. We're proud to be the warriors, and at a time like this, there's a kind of a fight going on with an unseen enemy, and that we are going to work together, beat that, and be able to move forward as soon as possible.
Okay. Well, that's Dr. Tom Edington, Superintendent of Wawasee Community School Corporation. Of course, we thank you for your leadership and your guidance and your want, will, and desire to make this as painless as we possibly can, but it is the new norm. And we are all learning daily on how this all works. But we appreciate you taking the time to come and talk. I know that people are going to watch this, and they're going to appreciate the fact that you're hard at work trying to do what's best for our kids and our community and so forth and so on. So thank you.
Thank you.
I would shake your hand.
Thanks, Jeremy.
Yeah, I would shake your hand, but they don't want us to do that anymore.
6 feet apart.
Yep.
6 feet right here. So.
All right. Well, have a great day, folks.
Thanks.